Xbox over PS4. This is Stardock, and welcome. Hey everybody, welcome back to Stardock. I'm your host, Spin Assassin. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the Xbox One, why it's better than the PS4, why that should be your choice, and I'm going to bring you an informed opinion, a little bit about my resume. I have been in PCs for a long time. I've been a gamer since forever, since I was a little kid on the ColecoVision, and I've been gaming on PCs since they came out. So I'm a gamer, I'm a PC gamer, I'm a console gamer, and I choose Xbox as the best console. But first, let's talk a little bit about PC gaming. Okay, so everyone's heard the phrase the PC Master Race. They got this little cartoon of this like Superman or something, and what it basically boils down to is the hardware argument. And the hardware argument is that if you've got more designations, like all these like DDR3 and DDR4, DDR5, all these are just marketing designations, right? Like engineers don't come up with that stuff. It's the marketing department that comes up with what they're going to call their fancy video cards and RAM and all that stuff, right? So basically the PC Master Race comes down to the hardware argument. They got wicked hardware. The more money you spend, the better the hardware you'll have. Guaranteed. That is actually, in a way, a valid argument. You could spend $10,000 on a PC. I've seen it done. There is a YouTube video. Maybe I'll link it. You have to go to stardock.space to see the link. But you can, like, this thing was a monster. This thing, you'd have to bring it in on a forklift, and you'd have to drop it. The forklift would have to take it to the bank, and they'd lock it up in the vault because it's so damn expensive. So, I mean, sure, PC Master Race and all that, it's not really my thing, especially since all this upkeep of PCs takes time. Yes, it does take time. That's my daily bread. I help people with their freaking computers. There's always something that goes wrong. There's always something that needs help. Some driver that needs updating. Always. That's just how it is. That's the story of PCs, to a lesser extent Mac, and to a greater extent Linux, if you ask me. I've experienced with all of them, and that's how I see it. I've played with these things for years and years, so don't tell me otherwise. And I came to this conclusion way back. I was raving about Halo one time, and a friend of mine, he said, no, Halo is, nothing. You gotta see gaming on a real machine. You gotta come over to my house, and I'll show you my wicked PC, and we're gonna play Battlefield 1942. So sure, okay, let's go play 1942, Battlefield 1942. It was a pretty cool game. I'm not ragging on the game here, but the point of the story is that I go over to this house, we're going to sit down to play 1942, and what happens? Instead, we play this game where I'm sure you know this game, where the little green bar slowly fills up from left to right. You know this game? I hate that game, honestly. And that's the story of PC, okay? So, I'm not talking Xbox over console yet, or Xbox over PC yet, but just in general, consoles, you power it up and you go. You put it in your living room, you pop in a CD, and it's go. That's what people want from consoles, right? It's the same reason that the iPhone is so popular. It's because it's easy, because it's guaranteed to work every time, all the time. And I don't blame people for thinking that way. So that's what that's about. Consoles are easy, they're fast. You know what? My TV can only do 1080p, 60 FPS. That's not first-person shooter, that's frames per second. So my plasma can do 1080p, and it runs at 60 hertz, turned all the way up. So 1080p, 60 frames per second is the most that my TV is going to handle. If you put 70 frames per second, let's say, they won't never do that, but let's say they did. What you're going to get is you're going to miss out. you're not going to actually see anything better than that. So it kind of defeats the whole PC Master Race argument. Like, what's the point if that's the maximum you can see? Okay. So yeah, consoles are also couch friendly. I mean, it's a no nonsense plug and play. You put it in integrate it into your entertainment system, and away you go. And yeah, I mean, it's just preference when it comes down to it, and a few other things. Okay, so I've got a PC in my living room as well, and that's the choice that I made, is Xbox for the console experience and PC for the PC gaming experience and everything else. You do a lot of work on PC. I'm doing this on PC. Now, some people will say that, okay, if you're gonna be a gaming critic, you have to have the Xbox and the PS4. Well, you know what? I'm a little bit more discerning than that. I choose PC and Xbox. The reason being is Xbox is the premier console. Like, it is the console. If you want hardware, then go PC. It's a no-brainer. I mean, if you want hardware, then go PC. I've got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 PS4s worth of video cards. It's not, I don't really have video card envy. I don't really have any of that. And what I'm looking for from a console, Xbox provides the best that you can get. You want a huge company like Microsoft to, be able to change on a dime and put out like amazing amount of games. That's the first point. Is there's just more games on Xbox. You cannot deny it. Halo by itself obviously would have sold the Xbox, and it did. I want to play Halo, so that means I'm an Xbox guy. It's as simple as that. I also like Battlefront. The PS4 kids, they can play Battlefront. Great, good for them. But I can also play Battlefront, so I'm not missing anything, right? So all of the best exclusives are on Xbox, plus everything that's on PS4, plus some things that aren't on PS4. So basically, if you're a gamer and you want a game and you like the whole console thing, then Xbox is the best choice. There's also free games all the time. Like, only Microsoft can do this. Like, PS4 is so cheap with their games. Like, even the backwards compatibility. Xbox is bringing on more backwards compatible games all the time. And if you got the disc, or if you just ever even downloaded it, it belongs to you. Xbox already knows that you own this game, and you can download it and play it anytime you like. So, free games, backwards compatibility, and now the Elite controller. The Elite controller is the best controller in gaming. You've been seeing, I've got some video here, I've been showing you the Elite controller the whole time. It is, bar none, all of the serious reviews say the Xbox Elite controller is the best controller. I should have one for now, but it's Christmas and they're sold out. Like, every single Xbox Elite controller is spoken for at this point in time. So I'll get one eventually, and I am just drooling over what we're looking at on this video I've got here for you. And the thing I like about the Elite controller, and actually the Xbox controller in general, is that you can run around and play first-person shooter. Shooting everywhere, looking all around, like it's a lot of fun. It works really well with a controller. People who want to sit there with a keyboard and mouse, I'm sorry, I sit at a desk all day with a keyboard and mouse. The last thing I want to do when I'm having fun is sit with a keyboard and mouse. And that goes for PC too. So, I don't know, have you guys heard of Star Citizen? Watch some of the previews for Star Citizen. The game's not even out yet, but it reminds me of Halo, just way more advanced. And basically, you fly around or float around or walk around just like you would in a first-person shooter, okay? But when you get into your spaceship, you're flying a ship. So who wants to fly a spaceship with a mouse and a keyboard? You want your joystick there. So like while you're playing, I mean, it's not seamless. Like your dude is getting into the cockpit and you're fumbling trying to get this controller. It just doesn't work. Okay, so I like that you can use the controller to fly or do the first person shooter thing, and without any hiccup in between. You don't even take your hands off the controller, and that's going to be wicked for Star Citizen. I'm going to play Star Citizen on my Elite controller. I'd really love to play it on the Xbox, actually, on some future Xbox if Star Citizen ever comes out. But it works for Halo, it'll work for Star Citizen, it'll work for Battlefront, even on PC. There was a review, I think it, I won't name it actually, but I saw a review where the guy basically panned the flight part of Battlefront, like where you fly around. There's one game mode where you just fly around in starfighters and doing dogfights, and he hated it. And his reason, because the controls are funny, you just can't do that with a keyboard and mouse. Well, that's not a problem of the game, that's a problem with the reviewer. Okay, because you know what? You're not supposed to do flying games with a keyboard and mouse. You're supposed to use a joystick. And if you actually were playing Battlefront on PC with an Xbox Elite controller, you would not have this problem. You would enjoy the fighter mode. So it's pretty much a no-brainer. I mean, if you like the best that games have to offer, if you want advanced gaming like Star Citizen looks like it's going to be, and you've got the money to put into wicked PCs, and you know what, you don't have to drop all that money all at once, alright? You just upgrade, get a nice video card, get a nice microphone, whatever you want, just build it piece by piece. And here's the funny thing, an Xbox is the same price as one video card, one decent video card. Actually, two. Some video cards, really nice video cards, you'd have to get two Xboxes to equal that. But what I'm saying is, the PC, if you want that high-end video game experience, where you don't mind troubleshooting, you don't mind spending a couple hours installing drivers and opening up the box and getting your hands dirty, and you know, like some of us enjoy that kind of thing, I know I do, then definitely you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to get a PC and get the Xbox Elite controller, just so that you can enjoy games like Star Citizen and Battlefront, right? The complete experience, the gaming experience is on a controller. I'm sorry, the keyboard, you work on a keyboard, you type on a keyboard, okay? If you want to write a story, use a keyboard, don't use a controller, okay? But if you want to play games, the Elite controller is where it's at. Check it out. Also, if you like consoles, the console thing, Xbox has the best console. You get more games, you get things, extra things like Kinect, and you know, even the Oculus Rift. If you want to play Oculus on PC, it comes with an Xbox controller. I wonder why. Are you gonna, you know, let's imagine you're playing Star Citizen. You're gonna take off your VR headset so that you can fumble around and grab your joystick every time you jump into a cockpit? No. That's why you have an Elite controller, or you have an Xbox controller. It just makes so much sense. Okay, so you know, the PC Master Race thing saying that, you know, your mouse is way more accurate than a controller. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Like, ask, like, you know, like a soldier if his mouse, you know, helps him aim better. No, mice are stupid. They're an illusion. You guys are living in illusion, putting your mouse on some guy's head and thinking you're a wicked shot. No, you're not. Okay, so that's all I gotta say. If you like consoles, which I do, go with the Xbox. If you're into the hardware argument, go with PC. PS4 doesn't play Battlefront like the PC does, and you know, if you want Halo plus Battlefront, then you go with the Xbox. I'm sorry to say, all the ponies and everyone out there who's just a retarded hater, then like, too bad. I mean, it's been said plenty of times, like, okay, you know, how like the PS4 has been selling better, how are you going to play those sales, right? Are you going to put those sales figures on a disc and load them into your PS4? Is that going to be fun for you? No. I mean, that's just ridiculous, even say as an argument, the fact that PS4 sells better. The fact is, the Xbox One is doing better than the Xbox 360, which did amazing, which did phenomenally amazing. And yeah, so that whole argument, the sales figures, and we know who's buying these PS4s, right? People who don't know. I'm sorry to say. Well, there's two people. There's people who you know, came up through the ranks with the PlayStation, and they just like the PlayStation. They're used to the controller. They're used to the whole PlayStation thing. Okay, guys, go enjoy your PlayStation. I understand that. I have the same feeling about Xbox, plus everything else I've just said. I like the controller. It's amazing. The controller is basically unchanged. And yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You want games, you want to play console games, get the best console, which is the Xbox. Or you can go with the hype. You can go with the granny's choice, right? For little Johnny, all the parents who never picked up a controller in their entire lives, they're buying PlayStations. Okay, so if you don't know anything, get a PlayStation. If you hear this podcast, you now can make an informed decision and get the proper console, the best console, which is the Xbox. Enjoy your gaming. Thank you for watching Stardock. Make sure you like my channel. Make sure you subscribe, please. And come visit stardock.space. I also have a Facebook page. I'm also on Twitter. Stardock.space. Just Google it. You'll find me. And we'll talk to you next time. Take care.